I'm Sarah Duffy. Coming up on News 25, we'll tell you which bridges are closed and why it's important for your safety.
I'm Melissa Meisner. Coming up on News 25, what supplies people are buying to prepare for the storm.
Plus, MDOT works around the clock to keep the roads open. Our storm coverage starts right now.
You're watching Wxxv News 25, your local choice at 5:30. With Jennifer Tubwell, Joe Sullivan, and Chief Meteorologist Ashley Feaster.
A winter storm is slamming the coast. Bridges and roads are closed, making for a travel nightmare.
News 25's forecaster Nick Patrick starts our team coverage tonight with weather. Nick.
Good evening, South Mississippi. Yesterday at this time, Doppler edge was showing absolutely clear conditions. Well, that changed quickly overnight and into the early morning hours. That system started to make its way through South Mississippi, bringing with it some rain to start. But then that switched over to freezing rain quickly. Taking a look at Doppler edge right now, you can see just how long this line of storms is stretching all the way through to the East Coast. Now that's going to be sticking around for the next several hours. Let's go and take a closer look at what Doppler edge is showing right now in our area. Right now along the coast, we're still seeing that mix of sleet and snow. That's going to start to change, however. We're going to start to just see that ice beginning to form, especially as those temperatures really cool down overnight tonight. Temperatures are going to be dropping quickly. Now with those temperatures, still plenty of moisture in the atmosphere, and that's why some snow is going to start to form. I'm thinking in the next several hours that ice is going to start to change over to that snow, also hampering driving conditions. But right now the main concern on the roads is that ice. And for more on why ice is so dangerous, I'm going to go ahead and send it over to Rob Knight. Rob?
Nick, you're absolutely correct. The scenario that we're under is actually worse than if we had a couple of inches of snow on the ground. And the reason for that is freezing rain is actually super cool water droplets, folks, still in a liquid state. It needs a surface to freeze, and when it hits a surface that's below freezing, such as a road, a building, car, tree lines, or tree limbs and power lines, it freezes instantaneously. And with us expected to have this scenario over the next couple of hours, we will have a thin sheet of ice over South Mississippi tomorrow morning. Now, for Southerners who are not used to dealing with this situation, a couple of tips. As far as your vehicle goes, don't try to get the ice off the windshield using water. That's only going to hurt. Scrape off as much as you possibly can. Let your defroster try to do the rest. If you don't have keyless entry and you're using a manual key and the key won't turn, warm the key up in some boiling water or get it warm before putting it in there. As far as pipes goes, exposed pipes need to be covered, and you can also help by running a trickle of water inside your house. Running water is much harder to freeze than standing water. And of course, stay off the roads if at all possible. It is going to be very, very dangerous. You don't drive on ice, you skid on ice. Be safe. Back to you, Joe.
All right, thanks, Rob. Throughout the day, as temperatures were dropping, ice started to accumulate on roads and bridges. The Gulfport police are standing by and have begun closing bridges in the area. On instances like this one, Cow and Lorraine, the Wilkes and Kramer bridges are closed. Police are monitoring other situations. Officer Damon McDaniel says police aren't taking any chances after last Friday and are ready with barricades to close the Interstate 10 Highway 49 exit ramps if needed.
The incidents and the amount of crashes that we investigated on Friday, we're taking an active approach to be prepared for that. And as you can see, the temperatures are starting to drop, and they've been pretty much that way all day. And I can anticipate that happening here soon as far as the interstate is concerned.
Police will be out in force tonight helping those who find themselves in trouble on the roads.
Well, there have already been a number of car accidents around the coast due to those icy road conditions.
News 25's Sarah Duffy joins us live with the Harrison County EMA Director Rupert Lacey with more. Sarah?
Thanks, guys. We're here at the Emergency Operations Center in Harrison County with Harrison County Emergency Manager Rupert Lacey. Rupert, tell us a little bit about the latest going on out in the county.
Of course, this evening, as the sun starts to set on us, our temperatures are dropping. We are still having the winter precipitation come down. It has been accumulating for the last 4 or 5 hours. Driving is treacherous, so we want to keep people off the roads. If you don't need to be out, please don't get out tonight.
Right. I know we have some trouble keeping up with the latest with bridge closing, school closing. How do you guys keep up with everything changing?
We are getting the information. We're trying to put it out as quickly as possible in releases, but any and all overpasses, elevated roads, the temperature is just to the point that we've got ice everywhere.
Right, and we're in an area with a lot of bridges, a lot of overpasses. Why is it so dangerous out there for us?
Of course, you know, our crews have been out, MDOT's been out, they've put salt down, we've put sand down, but this has been a liquid precipitation. Tonight's extreme temperatures are going to be into the 20s, and you know, anything that's wet is going to freeze up.
All right, well, thank you so much, Rupert. Well, everyone out there, please stay safe, and if you can, stay off the roads. Reporting live in Gulfport, Sarah Duffy, News 25.
Thanks, Sarah. The Gulfport Biloxi Airport was quiet today. Flights were canceled last night to keep travelers out of the airport and off the road today. The airport does not have de-icing and other snow equipment, which makes it impossible for planes to take off once temperatures reach below freezing. The airport building is remaining open, but most airplanes have made the decision, of course, to cancel flights. Accommodations were made for most travelers to rebook flights or to be compensated.
Well, sleet, snow, and ice continue to cover coast roads.
MDOT workers have worked around the clock to prep roads, exit ramps, and bridges in South Mississippi. MDOT has a staging site in each coastal county. News 25's Mark Armstrong is at the one in Lyman, and he joins us live with the latest. Mark?
Earlier today, this garage was full of salt trucks. Now the trucks are out de-icing roads in an effort to protect coast residents. And until the wicked weather improves, these trucks and workers will not stop.
The sleet has been falling since early this afternoon, and road conditions are becoming more dangerous by the moment.
I've been out here 25 years, and this is the second time in 2 weeks that we've done this. We wasn't quite as prepared the first time, but we're more prepared this time.
MDOT crews have been working nonstop the past 2 days, salting the roads and spreading sand on bridges and roadways. Traffic is light today, evidence that most drivers are staying off the road. Still, many people are making the drive to their jobs.
It wasn't that bad. I thought it was going to be worse than it was, but it wasn't that bad. I drove slow and made it to work on time.
It's getting home after work that has most people worried. That's why many businesses closed early today. CB William Harrison is one worker who left early.
I'm worried for a lot of people that are out there traveling right now because we were giving off work, and I know there was a 50-car pileup I heard the other day, and I just hope something like that doesn't happen again.
And conditions are expected to worsen as the day turns into night.
The way it's going looks like it's going to be pretty bad. If we can say anything, just stay off the road if you can.
And out of harm's way.
MDOT crews are working around the clock to de-ice the roads, so if you do have to be out on the road, be sure to look out for them. Reporting in Lyman, Mark Armstrong, News 25.
Thanks, Mark. Shoppers were stocking up on last-minute storm supplies today.
News 25's Alyssa Meissner joins us live here in studio to tell us what you need to make it through the winter weather. Alyssa.
I went down to the Home Depot in Biloxi today to get some advice on preparing for the storm and to see what supplies were going fast. Most people on the coast know how to prepare for hurricanes, but snow and freezing rain are new territory. Home Depot store manager Daniel Paul says protecting your pipes is one important step you need to take.
The biggest thing is keeping them wrapped with a pipe insulation or a pipe wrap, protecting your faucets outside with faucet covers.
Shoppers like Gloria Young, who have exposed water pipes and hoses, are concerned.
I'm buying foam installation for my camper, and the reason is to keep it from freezing.
Young went through Katrina and other serious storms, but none involving snow and ice.
I have a friend that's in Tennessee, and she's trying to prepare me, and I'm like, really? Do I got to do all this stuff?
In addition to pipes being a concern, everyone who is used to leaving their plants outside need to take extra precautions.
Also, remember your outdoor plants. Things like palms and ferns and that sort of thing are very susceptible to cold. So if you can, bring them inside or cover them with a plastic or another type of product.
Here at the Home Depot, they've even brought their own plants inside and covered others that can't be brought indoors. Homeowners should also be concerned about salt for their sidewalks and driveways, as well as accommodations for indoor and outdoor pets.
Also, to protect their pets, we're seeing a lot of people buying heat lamps and some of those sorts of things for outdoor animals and that kind of stuff.
Many smaller businesses were closed today, but larger stores like Home Depot should remain open and fully staffed. Back to you guys.
Coming up after the break, Nick Patrick will have a detailed forecast, but first, here's a look at your tides for tomorrow.
Now, News 25 Weather Edge with Nick Patrick.
Well, that winter weather we were talking about yesterday has just slammed into the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Let's go and take a look at what Doppler Edge is showing right now. You can see this just extended system. This is actually right along a cold front, and moisture has just funneled in to the Gulf Coast. That's exactly why we're seeing all this ice and rain and starting to switch over to some snow. Taking a closer look right now in Hattiesburg, you can see some of this snow developing just to the south now. That's going to start heading our direction over the next few hours, but right now along the coast in Gulfport, here's what we're looking at. That wintry mix, mostly sleet and freezing rain right now, those droplets falling as frozen rain, and so keep that in mind. Road conditions are only going to worsen as those temperatures start to decrease. Now, temperatures are expected to decrease dramatically, and that's exactly why this roads right now are going to become so dangerous. Taking a look at one of our MDOT traffic cams facing west in Biloxi, downtown Biloxi, you can see still some cars on the road, but there hasn't been too many accidents so far. I-10 is where most of those accidents are taking place. You have to slow down if you're planning on traveling on these roads tonight, folks. These roads right now, you can see a little bit of moisture beginning to develop. That's going to freeze overnight tonight thanks to just how cold these temperatures are. Right now, we're right around that freezing mark in Biloxi, sitting at 29 degrees, and you can see this precipitation following as a wintry mix. But take a look at just how strong these winds are. Winds out of the north at 15 miles per hour. Making those temperatures feel almost 10 degrees cooler at 18 degrees. These winds are only going to pick up as we head into the later hours. Let's go and take a look at what Future Edge is showing. It's also showing right now mostly ice. It tends to move the system out very quickly. I'm expecting that some snow is going to be sticking around as we head later on into Tuesday evening, Tuesday night. Towards midnight, that's when things are going to start to fall off. We're going to start to see some snow start to taper off, and by the time we wake up tomorrow morning, I'm expecting much of the system to be on its way out, but we are going to be waking up to some bitterly cold temperatures, folks. Keep that in mind. It's going to feel close to the single digits out there. You're going to want to bundle up the coat, the hat, the gloves, really as much as you can, especially if you have to drive to work early tomorrow morning. The road's also going to be extremely dangerous. All this water that's melted on the roads right now is going to be more than likely be ice, and that's going to really stick around. Could see some ice even later on into the evening hours on Wednesday. But Future Edge does show some sunshine starting to return. Winds are going to be out of the north all day, though, keeping things cool towards Thursday. Possibly some fog early on, but that's going to start to change. The sunshine is going to help warm us up as we head later on into the afternoon, Thursday evening, and into Friday. We finally see the big change. Let's go and take a look at that 7-day forecast. Here's what we're looking at for tomorrow morning, starting off bitterly cold. Now, the actual temperature is going to be right around 18 degrees, but the feels like temperature, that's what you have to keep in mind. That strong wind, bringing the wind chill down all the way to the single digits. 18 degrees to start off the day on Wednesday. Thursday morning, 23 degrees, and it's going to feel just as cool, but temperatures finally start to bump up. The sunshine makes its way back. 48 degrees for your Thursday. Friday, just some clouds moving in, but take a look at those temperatures. Some relief is in sight. 55 degrees for your Friday. Saturday, totally different day. 68 degrees, folks. We're going to be actually above average temperatures on Saturday. Sunday, a slight chance of showers. Mostly sunny skies, though, expected with this as well. And Monday, that's when temperatures just take a slight dip before we start to level out towards 70. We just have to make it through the next really few hours and into Wednesday morning, and that's when we finally start to see a little relief.
The nonprofit organization Shepherds of the Gulf was out today gathering supplies for homeless camps around the coastal region. Linda Favre, president of the organization, says they need candle donations for homeless camps to use for heat and light. They also brought food and other supplies. Favre says it's important they continue to bring food and heat to the camps because many do not want to move to other shelters out of fear that their campsite will be destroyed in their absence.
Some South Mississippi bridges shut down for de-icing today. We'll tell you how and if that affected nearby businesses.
The Pops Ferry Bridge in Biloxi closed around 4 this afternoon because of mechanical problems and ice accumulation, cutting off one of the major north-south corridors in Biloxi.
And even though that bridge was open most of the day, nearby businesses and organizations closed early today, and some didn't open at all. News 25's Tony Miles has been following that story since early this morning.
Few cars were on the road this morning, and even though the Pops Ferry Bridge was open at dawn, it looked like a ghost town nearby.
When I went to the gym, I saw that it was closed, and I was wondering, well, I wonder how many other businesses are closed.
Chuck Schaefer missed his workout at the gym this morning, but it didn't stop him and his son from working up a sweat in the kitchen at Shady's New World Cuisine restaurant.
They did put sand earlier.
It was also a busy day for bridge tender Jennifer Hudson. She answered a lot of phone calls and also kept a watchful eye on the bridge as crews worked throughout the day to de-ice and sand the Pops Ferry Bridge. Hudson's seen a lot in her 5 years working here. This, she says, is a first.
As long as I've been here, I have not seen them put sand at all.
And although the Pops Ferry Bridge was open for much of the day, some local businesses and organizations decided not to take any chances. And New Life Family Church on Pops Ferry Road also shut down today and canceled Wednesday's services. Even Shady's New World Cuisine closed a little early.
Because my employees do need to get home, and I want to let them out in time to where they'll be safe in their return home.
Shady's was one of the first restaurants to open after Katrina. And while cool beer was a top seller then, today was a better day for a warm beverage and a hot meal, and an even better night to stay safe at home. In Biloxi, Tony Miles, News 25.
The bridge remains closed.
Meanwhile, the city of Moss Point is getting ready for a long night of protecting their city. The city's police and fire department are gathering to get the latest from the National Weather Service. Sand and salt has been put down on 83 bridges in Jackson County so far. Both departments have extra personnel on the clock who will join the chiefs in an all-night watch over the city.
Right now, we are continuing to assess the bridges, especially in the residential areas, because oftentimes these areas don't get a whole lot of traffic, and this is where we get a nice accumulation of sleet and ice.
The departments also plan to not use their lights and sirens to prevent people running off the slick roads, so I think that's a very good move out there.
That's right. We've been listening to the scanner, heard all the accidents, bridge closings, a lot of bad things going on out there. Coming up on News 25, we'll see how the winter weather has impacted our coast hotels. Stay with us. We're coming right back.
Second Edge weather.
Well, those temperatures here along the coast barely have made it above freezing today, and they've already started to drop quickly. Right now in the southeast, Little Rock coming in at 30 degrees, Atlanta already down to a chilly 21, and here in Gulfport we're sitting at 29 degrees, and if you think that's cold, take a look. Denver coming in at 32 degrees, so we're actually colder than it is in Denver right now. Minneapolis, they're sitting below zero, -1 degrees. We're not going to get quite that cold, but it is going to feel close. Let's take a look at what it feels like right now here along the coast. Temperatures coming in around below 20 degrees. 18 degrees is what it feels like in Biloxi and Wiggins. 19 degrees is what it's going to feel like in Gulfport, and those are only going to continue to drop. Future Edge chill. Here's what we're going to expect by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. Bitterly cold temperatures, especially towards the north. Wiggins, you're going to be feeling like 10 degrees as you wake up tomorrow morning. Now, these are dangerously cold temperatures, folks. Any exposed skin is going to freeze quickly. You're going to want to bundle up the gloves and the hat. Keep that in mind, especially early on in the day. Now, temperatures not going to bump up a whole lot, very similar to what we had today, only feeling like 28 degrees for much of the coast, 28 for Pass Christian and Gulfport, and those temperatures aren't going to be rising very quickly. Another cold start to your morning on Thursday before things finally start to turn around as we make it into Wednesday. Wednesday, as you wake up, as I mentioned, 20 degrees. Winds are going to be out of the north, 20 miles per hour. Noon, 38 degrees before we finally start to warm up towards the afternoon. Wednesday, 41 degrees. That's going to feel warmer than what we've had certainly the past couple of days, and the return to the sunshine, that's going to make a big difference. Winds will start to calm down as we make it towards the middle of the week.
As the wicked weather brings distress, many people are turning to hotels. The Holiday Inn in Gulfport and many other hotels have seen a spike in numbers now that the temperatures have dipped. Increased car troubles and flight cancellations bring clients to the doorsteps of hotels ready to serve up hospitality and, of course, a warm bed.
Last Friday, the weather was a surprise. The roads were closed kind of spontaneously. A lot of people were distressed. Airline passengers, highway passengers traveling to and from. This hotel, as well as the Clarion behind us and the Best Western behind us, which we operate, benefited. And it's one of the times where we feel proud to be in the hotel business because we're here to help the folks.
The Holiday Inn and all related hotels have extra people working to handle any business with bad weather may bring.
An early morning mobile home fire kills at least 4 people in Fulton, Mississippi and Itawamba County. The family trying to keep warm as temperatures plummeted overnight. Authorities say the fire was caused by a space heater, killing 2 young children, a teenager, and a 30-year-old adult. 5 other people in the home have been hospitalized, 2 in critical condition. The victims have not been identified.
Stay with us. Nick will have one final look at your weather forecast after the break. This cold weather has a very far reach, even affecting the biggest development project taking place here on the coast. The Biloxi City Council was supposed to meet today and vote on the distribution of the bonds for the baseball stadium project downtown. The bad weather caused the meeting to be canceled. Just last week, the city had a groundbreaking ceremony at the project location on Highway 90. The clock is ticking because the minor league team is supposed to begin playing the stadium in 2015.
Another business postponement due to the weather is the grand opening of the brand new Platinum Tower at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Biloxi. The private grand opening, originally set for Wednesday night, will now take place on Thursday night, 5 p.m. at the Hard Rock Cafe. So speaking of Thursday night, we're going to hope that the weather is cooperating much more than right now. Ashley's off tonight. Here's Nick.
That's right, Jennifer. Well, the weather should be clearing out by that point on Thursday. Take a look at Thursday. Sunshine returns, 48 degrees as well. But before we get there, we're going to have a cold start tomorrow. Some ice is still sticking around right now. That's going to switch over to snow before midnight and then start to taper off tomorrow morning. 18 degrees, though, feeling closer to 10 degrees, especially the farther inland you go. So keep that in mind tomorrow morning. Before, like I said, Thursday, that's when the warmer weather starts to return. And for the weekend, things really start to bump up. Friday, 55 degrees, waking up to a toasty 48. It's going to be a completely different weekend than what we've had the last few days. And Sunday, we get all the way up to the 70s. Just a slight chance of showers.
All right, thanks, Nick. Great night to stay indoors tonight.
70s, just, it didn't even seem real at this point. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you right back here tonight, 10 o'clock.
Have a great night, everybody.